Hey guys, welcome back to Guys That Listen. I'm Mario.
And my name is Peter.
And today we have the amazing Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Judy.
Judy, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Judy. I'm a full-time pediatric dentist. I do social media. I'm a real estate agent.
Wow.
And what else? I don't know. Just random. Oh, I have a podcast.
Oh, wow. Fellow podcaster.
Yeah. Haven't been active in a year. But
Follow Dr. Girlfriend.
Yes. Thank you.
Dr.
Thanks
Girlfriend.
for the plug.
Yeah, damn.
You're so talented, dang.
Yeah, multi-talented
Yeah.
too.
I don't know.
Jeez.
Okay, you guys are too nice.
hyping you up.
No, that's easy though. I mean, really, she's basically like, I know we've said this before, but you remember there's like this Korean guy who's like, he's an astronaut,
Oh
he's
my
a
God,
doctor, he's a Navy SEAL. He,
No,
like,
that's definitely not me.
Yeah. I mean, but when you were listening out, like you're basically redoing your posters, I was like, God damn. it's
What's
very
his name?
similar.
Like
I don't know,
Kevin
it's
Nguyen?
probably-
No.
No, he's Korean, so it's something Kim, I'm sure.
Kevin Kim.
But that's why, like, when you listen to all those things, I'm like, how do people do that? Because all those things require so much. Like, all the things that you do require a lot.
Yeah, I have a lot of time.
How though? Like, how
don't do anything.
how do you schedule those things? Like, that's crazy.
I feel like I have like a lot of time, and that's why I think I find things to do because I have so much time.
Oh wow.
Like yeah, I work. I'm full time, but I only work Monday through Thursdays.
Okay.
So I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do whatever I want, and that's kind of like the beauty of having those 3 days, you know.
I think we were talking about this yesterday. Well, I was talking about it with Dennis, where it's like we all have the same amount of time, but some people really know how to make the most use of their time.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, you flip this switch where it's like, I have to do this, and I have this time. There's something like a voice in your head where you're like, don't waste time. Don't be lazy. Like, you just have to do it. You just have to do it. Like, conscious time that you're putting into like your craft, your hobbies, whatever it is, eventually pays out, and you become someone like super talented, and you're like, okay, I'm a dentist, a real estate agent, a podcaster. You know, like all these things.
It's funny that you say that because like I don't even like. First of all, I don't introduce myself a lot. So when I like list all those things, it's just like, for me, it's just like a hobby, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think to other people, it sounds like it's like really cool, you know? But
I think
it's
a
like,
part of it is you have to acknowledge yourself too, where it's like there is
yeah.
humility, and that's fine, but a part of it is like you got to own too, like, okay,
Yeah.
I am these things. I did go to school to become this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did,
yeah.
you know, take a test and get my license for this, you know, and it's like important to like kind of like
Takes a lot.
embrace our victories.
oh yeah, for sure. But like you were saying about like everyone has the same amount of time, but everyone uses it differently. I think that's like so true. Because like I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm just like, if I'm not doing something, I don't feel like productive, you know. And like some people need stuff to fill their time to feel good about themselves, and I feel like that's why I like have all these random things, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you're exactly like that. You're like,
Me?
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
So you're a podcaster. What else?
No,
he has I don't know anybody who's probably had as many jobs as
Oh,
Peter
really?
and just has many projects as Peter. He's constantly having like different, not even just like jobs, like different artistic projects that are here, like at least 10 that I can remember. And I'm like, sir, like,
Yeah.
pick one.
I think I'm like that. Like, is it because you have a lot because you're interested in a lot of things, or do you get bored and then you're like on to the next thing, or you just keep like adding stuff
Couple
to your
things.
plate?
Like I like to learn a lot, and I'm always curious,
Yeah.
and I like see a lot of problems, and I always try to figure out solutions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what gets me going. Like I'm just like, oh, why isn't someone doing this? You know, and instead of just like wondering that, and the thought kind of goes away, that thought stays with me and it bugs me until I do something about
Yeah,
it.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's.
Wait, so what other things do you do?
So right now, like my main job is I'm in mortgage, so that's cool that you do real estate. I'm in mortgage. I run an event company called the Feel Good Collective, which is what this office was used for. But you know, during pandemic, you can't really have large gatherings.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to find our footing back. We still host events now, but not nearly as much. Me and my partner, we have like full-time jobs now, so a little bit more difficult.
So do you like go into the office 9 to 5 type of full-time jobs? Or?
No, so now I used to do that. Like I used to work. Well, mortgage was like 60 hours a week, but now that I'm like independent, I don't go into the office. I work from home. I work from.
Today's mobile work spot.
yeah.
Every day you'll see him post a new coffee shop, like, oh, it's my new work spot today.
Yeah.
So now it's like the hours are a lot more different, but it's not like I sit behind a phone. I'm just more like trying to put myself out there more, and that's bigger than me because I'm all about like the in-person networking. It's hard for people to call me and they have no idea who the heck I am.
Yeah.
I like it when people call me like, oh, you're Peter, right? Like I heard you could help me. I'm like, that's awesome.
So that's still considered your full-time job.
Yeah. Still, that's like my main source of income, so that's why I consider it my full-time job. But definitely, like, I work on whatever hours I want. You know, I was in Europe for like a month and a half, and I was just working the most odd hours. You know, like, and that's only because I had to talk to clients. If not, like, I could just be roaming the streets and not doing anything. So it's different.
You said you look for problems to solve. That's what kind of drives you. So was the start of this podcast like you see these people in relationships and they have problems? Like, let me help you.
No,
that's the start of this podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly one of the reasons why I started because like I still am like a very long-term relationship type of guy. My relationships are at the minimum a year. The other one was like almost 10 years.
10 years.
The other one was like 4 years.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
With himself.
With myself.
That's the best relationship to be in.
I'm married to the game right now. I think I was just like very open about my relationships. I would always talk about it with my friends, and then they always thought my input was really well received. So they would always ask me like questions, even though obviously I'm not a professional or anything like that. But
not
I think
qualified.
It was, unqualified. But I think it was just I saw the fact that they opened up so easily to me. And they
are these guys or girls going
both.
to you? Okay.
Both. And it wasn't just like relationship problems with their significant others. It would be like their family problems, problems with their work life. You know, it just became like that go-to guy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this is really draining to talk to like all these people. Like one-on-one, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot of your time.
It
takes a lot of your energy. And I was like, I like doing it because they're like, thank you, you know? And but I'm like, I can't just do one-on-ones.
Right.
It's like difficult. So I was like, oh, I feel like it would be better if we bring people together and we could broadcast it so that people can understand these stories and they can learn from these conversations.
Yeah.
Because I think it's better to learn from other people's mistakes.
Oh, for
than
sure.
make all your own mistakes, you know?
100%
Well, even if you learn from other people, I feel like you have to experience it yourself.
yeah.
Like people can tell you like, don't do this, don't do that, but you're still gonna do it, and then you have to learn from your own lessons.
I think it depends though, because there are a lot of things that I definitely have seen from other people. I'm like, no, I'm
like
not.
what?
doing that.
Like what?
Oh man, this is gonna sound really bad, but like getting married.
Oh,
that's one thing of mine where I'm like, I'm okay
Wait, what do you
Look
mean?
on
Like
your
to
face, you're like,
I was like, what? Wait,
Yeah.
dating a gangbanger?
What?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Whoa, this one.
Yeah, don't date a gangbanger.
Wait.
Also, don't do that.
Yeah. Wait, can you elaborate? Because
Wait,
okay,
is this
sorry,
Is this
I
a
think-
Freudian slip? Like, have you dated a gangbanger? Judy?
Yeah.
not
Like,
at all. That's why I'm so.
That's why I'm so
streets of
curious.
NorCal. Like.
Yeah. Oh, are we not talking about dating anymore?
Oh no,
No,
He
we
said-
were talking about-
He said one of the things he learned is he doesn't want to get married.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So you've decided that you don't want to get married.
Yeah.
You know what? That's funny that you say that because like now that I'm learning more, I'm starting to feel that way, but I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to absolutely say that I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
But you know, now that my friends are married, I see like my parents, I see my older generations, and then I see my generation.
Yeah.
It's not that glamorous.
I'm an optimist, so.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I want to stay an optimist, so I don't want to get to your point. I don't
I'm an optimist. What the heck?
Well, are you saying you don't want to get married?
I don't want to get married personally.
So you
for
know
me.
for sure.
I know.
He's known for
Yeah,
years.
I'm known for a long
How
time.
do you make that decision? Because I see both sides, but then I don't think I can ever get to a point where I'm like, I'm absolutely not going to get married.
So for me, maybe if I just say like I don't want to get married, it just seems like really, really vague. Because what I mean is I don't like the
Marriage
idea of-
certificate? Oh.
the marriage certificate, the idea of like, you know, okay, I'm not religious for one, so I'm not going to, you know, change my religion or religious, you know, status to something else, to adhere to someone else's religion.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the government getting involved. There's a lot of things that I find it's like kind of like tacky about it.
Yeah.
I think in the idea itself, or not just marriage, but like the idea of like a wedding, I feel like it's kind of funny too.
Yeah.
And like the like societal pressure to get
Right.
married. Like I feel like typically a lot of people make bad choices because of that, or bad choices when to get married or who to get married to. So I mean, I think I made this choice when I was really young.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Young, like how old?
I think I was like 18, 19.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think I kind of had an idea, and then it was only till I was like probably 25 that I confirmed. I was like, okay, this is
Okay,
for
so
sure.
it's just the institutional. It's just like the actual like legality of it, right?
Yeah,
and like
legality.
the societal like
Yeah.
stuff. But you're open to the idea of like having like a long-term
A
partner.
Yeah,
he
like
still
I
wants a
mentioned,
partner.
I was in a multiple
yeah.
long.
He probably wants a partner that he can travel with. No dogs, no cats. Just like very, very mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you just don't want the marriage license, but you're okay
Yeah.
being committed to someone for
Yeah.
a long period of time.
Yeah.
But what if you meet someone who like that's really important to them? You just won't budge.
No, I won't budge.
Yeah. So, so it's like an ultimatum. Like if
I recently just had the ultimatum. That's why I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
How recent?
I mean, that was like November.
Oh my
September,
God,
like,
yeah.
like 8
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
months.
September?
Was this
Yeah.
the 10-year one?
No,
Oh,
this
okay.
is 4 years.
Okay.
Almost 4 years.
That's a long
yeah,
time,
yeah.
too.
But the thing was, that's funny about that one was I told her since the very beginning. I'm like, I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
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 You know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, I don't know. You probably have to ask her, but I think in her head, because at one point, Mario
I asked
knows her too.
I know why.
And
She,
then-
What'd you ask
she
her?
thought she could change. She thought she could change herself.
There's always
Yeah.
that.
She
Okay.
didn't think she could change Peter. She thought she could change herself and be.
Oh,
Yeah.
She never thought she
wanted
could
to
change. Yeah, it
I
was never she
see.
could change him. It was
Yeah.
she thought she could change herself
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
with this
yeah.
person. 'Cause, like, she
I was
loves him
really
and
worried
everything,
about
too.
that. I was like, I don't think this is you. Like, you
Yeah.
really
Yeah, it's
want
not.
to get married. Yeah, no, definitely not. But
Interesting.
yeah, I'm like there already. And I think, it's just, I felt like I haven't seen an example of marriage that has been good enough to convince me otherwise. And like,
Yeah.
because when I realized it when I was young, it was based off my family. Like,
Mhm.
my parents are divorced. My mom is twice divorced.
Yeah.
My dad's remarried. Even then, that marriage is like really, really rough.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you grow up and you become an adult and your friends get married and you see like other adults,
Yeah.
you're just like, wow, it's really not what they make out to be. And,
Yeah.
like one common theme I hear from a lot of people now, especially funny enough at weddings,
Mm-hmm.
is they tell me, don't get married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
No,
really?
Yeah.
my boss always tells me, oh, like, she's like, no one ever regrets getting or not getting married earlier. They regret getting married too early. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So no one's gonna like but it's funny that you said it's like what you see like from your parents, right? I think a lot of like what we see growing up is just how we form our like ideas, right? So like you, for example, you're an optimist.
Oh, yeah.
Are
My
your parents together?
Oh yeah,
and
my
they're-
parents
Are
are
they in
together.
like a loving marriage?
I wouldn't say it's loving in like they're not like super amorous in that, but it's
Yeah.
very solidified. Like they're like ride or die. They've been together plus 30 years, and they've always like, how do I put it? They've always put the family first. It's always been like we work as a team. We
Yeah.
work. We hold each other down. Like everything we do is for the family. So I've had a completely different experience. So for me, when I look at like family, when I look at like marriage, it's a partner, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't mind getting like a wedding and stuff. I do get it. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But I do want the license. I do. There's a lot of benefits to getting married too. Like, so for me, I've always imagined like, yeah, when I'm like 30 something, I'll get married. I'll have a partner and everything too. Like that's 30
As if he's not there.
How old are you? How old are we all?
We're
a few more years.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's always been there, and the ideas has always been there because my parents have like stayed together.
Yeah.
A lot of my family.
But were they
members-
happy together, or do they like bicker?
They-
There's like
oh,
normal
man.
bickering, but then like, is it like a toxic?
It's
like,
not toxic, but I
Yeah.
do see my parents' flaws. Like the older you get,
Oh, yeah.
the more you see like these people are like very human.
Oh, my God,
And I'm
yeah.
like, you could talk like you're arguing about stupid
Yeah.
shit, like but beyond that, beyond the bickering, beyond like that stuff too, there's this underlayer of like love and just of like
partnership.
partnership, and it's like we're with each other until we die.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and I realize that because I'm like I can see sometimes like, oh, maybe you're not the most compatible people in the world. Maybe like you would be better like with someone else or whatever. But they chose to stay together, and like they make it work. You know,
Yeah.
and like you find your ways when you're with someone for so many years. You find ways to make it work. But even like at their fights, whatever, like they've always stuck together for us, for me, my sister, and
Yeah.
for themselves too. You know,
Yeah.
so I respect that a lot. Because I know that the institution of marriage meant something different, like the generation previous. Sometimes you have to get married to survive, especially for like immigrants and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you're alone in this boat in this vast ocean, and you cling to each other.
Yeah.
And a part of that, like I do romanticize that a little bit, but I do kind of look for my own version of that with more
Yeah.
compatibility.
So, yeah, what's our version? Like so I feel like I get that like the generation above us stuck together because like they need each other. Like
Oh, yeah.
maybe they
Yeah.
need the income. They need a dual income to like provide for their children. But like our generation is so different, and it's like what's our version of
Extremely.
that? And that's what I'm having trouble like finding.
So what do you think it is?
Yeah.
What's your view on it?
I don't know. So like I'm kind of like in between you guys. Like I said,
No,
like
you literally are.
Yeah.
you
No,
don't want kids.
I don't. I know I don't want kids, but
not.
I have.
You
this-
know you don't want kids.
I know I
Or-
don't want kids. I think the reason why is because I don't think I would be a good dad. I think that if I were to have a kid, let's say on accident, I would raise him.
Yeah.
So I think like moral obligation, yes.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as like it being my choice, no, because I think it's weird. It sounds weird too. Like I feel like a kid takes a lot of time.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
That's not weird at all.
Yeah.
And I think like you have responsibility to raise them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of parents neglect that. They think like, oh, we'll have a kid and then we'll grow into it. You know, like no.
Oh no,
really.
I don't know anyone like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, really? You don't know anyone like that?
Well, I think
Holy
it's the
crap.
opposite. When you have kids, they lose a part of themselves,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like
definitely.
so, it's like I don't know. Like I think marriage and like having kids, that those two ideas kind of come hand in
They
hand,
do,
you know.
they
So
do.
I feel that's why I asked you, because I feel like if you don't really like not believe in marriage or whatever,
Yeah.
but like if you're not open to that, you're probably not open to like kids either.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. And I think I see both in kind of like the same way too. My reasoning comes out to be like, I feel like if I'm going to spend time with like a kid and raising my kids could take a lot of my time, I feel like I could do a lot more for a lot of other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that I feel a bigger responsibility to rather than just my own child.
Yeah.
So for instance, like I have this project that I'm working on with my friend, and it's like it's a online dance class, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a professional dancer, and for me, dance meant something big because like in my darkest hours, that was like the best way for me to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, it really got me out of a dark place. And I can't imagine how many other kids would get something out of it if I were to put time and effort into creating something like this.
Yeah.
And you know, like I want it to be where it's like, oh, if you don't have the money, it's free, you know, that kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like I don't want to blame and resent my kid for me not being able to fulfill other obligations.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And I feel like that happens.
I've heard people talk about being resentful for their kids. Yeah. But at least in the people in my life, I don't experience that. And I wouldn't personally. Like, I'm going to have a kid, I'm going to put all my effort into it because I had this kid and I want this kid, you know?
Yeah.
I want them to, grow up to be their best selves. And when you have a kid, you have to realize that you have to stop being selfish.
It's no longer
You have
your
to-
life.
and it's not.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to sacrifice and, there's a whole other aspect to your life now.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of the choices I make now are like selfish. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
choose to be busy because I want to be busy,
Yeah.
And like having kids, it's like, it's seen as like preventing you from doing all these things,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, yeah, we'll see what happens.
So do you want to get married? Do you?
Yeah. I'm still trying to like navigate that road. So like I definitely have friends who and like siblings who tell it like it is, and it's not glamorous. Like I have some friends who are on the brink of divorce. I've seen people who are going through divorces,
Yeah.
and it's like that doesn't sound fun, like.
Must be some masochist if you think that's fun,
No, but like I don't know. So so growing up, I always like definitely wanted to have kids and get married. Now that I'm getting
What age
older,
did you think you were gonna get married?
Oh,
and have
I
kids?
never had an age. I never have timelines.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I'm lucky in the sense that like my parents are not super like traditional Asians.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm the youngest, so like there's no pressure on me to
there's
do
no
anything.
pressure on you at
Yeah, there's no
all.
pressure. So
Nice.
I've been blessed with like I get to do whatever I want to
you're
do.
so lucky.
I know.
Nice.
I do. Like, I don't take that for granted at all because
Yeah.
I have friends who are like, their parents are like, "Have you gone on a date? How did the date go?" Like, there's so much pressure. Like, my parents just like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
Wow, that's
as long
super
as I'm
chill.
happy. I ask them all the time. I'm like, are you gonna be sad if I don't have kids or if I don't get married? They're like, if you're happy, then that's fine.
Wow. That's so
I know,
progressive for
That's
Asian
so
parents.
nice.
That's
I
crazy.
know. I don't know how they got so progressive. I don't even know if they know they're being progressive, but or they're
Yeah.
just like, whatever. I already got my grandchildren, and
Oh,
like,
that's
yeah.
They already got
They already
it.
have their
Okay,
grandchildren.
that makes
so
sense.
that's-
too.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So now I'm just like very go with the flow. Like if
Oh.
it happens, it happens.
But you're not seeking it.
Huh?
But you're not seeking it though.
I'm not at this moment. I feel like I have chapters in my life. I just got out of a relationship around the same time you did too.
Okay.
So like after I get out of relationships, I like to just like be on my own for
Same.
as long as possible until I feel the need to like go out there again. So right now in this time in my life, I'm not actively seeking anything, but I'm
Yeah.
always open to it. So if someone like falls on my lap, like they really have to just like be in front of me for me to be open to it. Like I'm not gonna go seeking it right now.
Yeah. Okay, so you said that you usually once you get out of a relationship, are they usually pretty long term or just like in general?
Not really. I feel like
Okay.
my longest one is like 2.5 years.
Okay. Last one was how long?
Just like 10 months.
Okay,
Yeah.
10 months.
That's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
decently.
Yeah.
It's
It was pretty serious.
Yeah.
Like most of my relationships are serious, like the
Okay.
long-term ones.
Yeah. So when you go out of these relationships and you need time to be by yourself.
Yeah.
That's basically a phase that you always go through, right? How do you know when you're ready to go seek again?
You don't.
Yeah, I think it just happens.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Really?
crazy
Like
thing
that.
is like so
So excited.
no, like it's so true. Like you don't
You
know,
don't know.
but you give this aura out. So
Oh.
like so
Huh.
Can you help him give this aura? Like, how do you,
I
what aura do
actually
you want to give out? Are you looking for?
no, he's
No, I'm not. Because I'm like in the same kind of like spot
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
are,
yeah.
where I'm like, I need time for myself,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I know when I'm ready to get there. There are certain steps that I need to take.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your steps then?
So like, I need to be happy with myself. That's
Mm-hmm.
number one.
Yeah.
Right. I need to feel like I've accomplished something that it's like of higher value than the person I was prior,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like when you build yourself to be a higher value person, you
Yeah.
get higher value people.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like, if I'm gonna be in another relationship, I would hope for them to do better than the last
Yes,
person I was
for
with,
sure.
or at least better for me.
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So those are the main steps,
Yeah,
and that
that-
requires me to work out. It requires me
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
focus on my projects,
Yeah.
and do things that make me happy. And because like once you get out of relationships, you're usually not the most happy person, right?
The most what?
Really?
Happy person, like you're really happy.
Oh, I am.
Oh, really?
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, so like you work out, you do this,
Yeah.
and then I find that like when I like focus on myself, I'm so happy
That's
to the
exactly-
point where I
yeah.
don't want to get into another
Yeah.
relationship.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you feel like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I have things going so well for
Yep,
me.
yep.
I'm like, oh, do I want to?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to get back into that, you know?
Sorry, go back to
Yeah, yeah.
the aura you were talking
Oh,
about.
no, you'll just know because so you're working on yourself, right? So this one time, I just got out of a relationship. I forgot how many months, but I was obviously not ready to like date again. And then I was just going to like an appointment. It was like a chiropractic appointment or whatever, right? And it's like, whatever. I just come in like my gym clothes, looking like a hot mess, whatever. And then like, he was like adjusting me, blah, 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 blah. We did not talk about anything about our love lives, nothing at all, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, can I tell you something? I was like, sure. And I was like, oh gosh, it's going to be real bad. Or I was like,
you got scoliosis.
that's what I was like, oh my God, do I have like some type of cancer or something that he can like feel or touch or whatever? I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm scared, but I want to know. And he goes, first of all, he's like, oh, are you dating anyone? I was like, no. He's like,
that's
oh,
very forward.
he's like, oh, I can tell because like you're very like closed off right now. I'm like,
Oh,
wait,
wow.
I was like, what are we? I know. I was like,
What?
what are we talking about? And then he's like, no, like he's like, I can tell you're not like. He just said like I'm really stubborn, or he's like, oh, you're very against dating right now. I'm like, what?
What?
I was like, does my back tell you that? Like, what? Where are you getting
He was
this
like
from?
reading your palms.
I
while you're
know.
like-
No, it's what do you call it when they do the?
Oh, right, Reiki.
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 Yes. Yeah, it's the Reiki healing.
No, he was. I don't even know what he was. Maybe he was doing stuff that I didn't know because he was behind me. So he was like doing something. No, he was like adjusting he was checking if I had scoliosis, and then he told me that.
So
I was
he was like
Oh.
adjusting your spine, but really he wanted to adjust your heart.
what? I don't know. But he just mentioned that out of nowhere, and I was like, oh wait, what are we talking about right now? I was like, okay, my back told you that or what? And he's like, no, you're just like, he's like, he was just giving me like unsolicited like relationship advice.
Whoa.
And I'm
Should
like,
get him on the podcast.
you know what? He would be good actually.
Wait,
because-
wait. So and then you guys dated?
No.
Oh, I thought that's where the story was going.
I thought that's where this is going.
No, I'm talking
okay.
about
Man, the bar is
auras.
the bar is really low. Like,
No.
Jesus Christ.
So I was
are you
like,
dating?
no. So
Yeah, it
so
seems
I
like
was
it.
like listening. I was taking
Yeah.
it as advice, but I was kind of offended. I'm like, do I have like a
Oh,
resting
me
bitch
too.
face or something? I was like, do I
Wow.
seem unapproachable? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? So I was like driving home. It was like an hour drive home, and I was like, why did he say that to me? Like, why did he feel the need to say that to me?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but he was very like spiritual type of thing, like almost like maybe like he like reads palms. I don't know.
Was reading your energy.
No, because like he like told me to stick out my tongue, and then he's like, "You don't drink, huh?" I was like, "How did you know that?" Like I was like, "Yeah, it was like crazy. You should have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll give you his
right.
contact."
I'm definitely not going to show him my tongue, though.
Oh my God, you drink too
Oh,
much.
my God.
But yeah, so like on the way home, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I must have like a resting bitch face or something. Like what? Like why did he like?" So like. I wasn't offended by the stuff he said, but I was like wondering like what about me
Yeah.
made him say that, because we weren't even talking about anything like that. So I was like, so then that's why I think like I'm not giving off that aura where I'm like looking to see like find someone, you know, because he was saying all these things like he's like, you need to be open for people to approach you. I'm like, well, I'm not open right now, so I'm not I'm not
that's
dating.
weird for him to say
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I think he was just trying to like be nice and give me advice or whatever. But yeah, so I think that's true. Like when you're ready, you're ready. Like I think when you're ready, you just attract people, and then you just end up dating them.
So do
like,
you think you give off that aura too? Like
Which
I'm
one?
available.
So was he right?
Well, okay. When I think about my last relationship, I was like single for like 3 years prior, and I was so happy. Like things were working out so well. No. But that's honestly how I feel. Sometimes I feel like I will be happier single. But then it's because you're working on yourself and you feel so good about yourself. And I think that like that aura, that I don't know, people want to be around happy people, right? No one wants to be around
100%.
Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
So then like I think you like exude that.
So you mentioned about your relationships and like dating. Well, you're a very happy person.
Oh yeah.
So when the people that you've dated, have they been happy people? Like, do you look for that in other people, or sorry, have they been happy people?
Yeah. Well, generally, I go off of vibes a lot. Like, some people like drain your energy, and some people like uplift it. So, generally, like all my exes have been pretty like good people. I would say like genuinely good people.
Nice.
Maybe except for one.
Oh, okay.
We gotta get into that later.
Go on.
No, but it's like, you get a good vibe, So I would say I gravitate towards more positive people, obviously. But I think, I don't know. I wonder if they think I'm positive or not.
You seem positive.
I don't know.
Because you're saying that people gravitate towards you because you feel positive.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. That's my speculation.
oh, that's your speculation.
that's-
They
I
don't
don't
tell
know.
you that. They're like, you're not like, oh, why did you come up to me?
No, I don't.
No, you've never asked
It's because
that?
your energy
Maybe I
was
should.
kind of closed off, and just like
No, I got the opposite. I got where like my closed off energy, but no.
Yeah, because don't you want to know?
Okay,
Like,
first of
why?
all, people don't go up to you anymore. Like,
Well,
that's,
I mean-
that's like a foreign thing now.
I don't
it's
think
all,
so.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone asked me this recently. They're like, when was the last time someone came up to you? I'm like, I don't even remember.
you don't leave
Really?
the house,
Wow.
Judy.
That's true too.
That's also true.
Judy.
That is true too.
The burglar goes up to her.
Hey, as he's stealing her stuff, hey, I just want to let you know your energy
Yeah.
off the charts.
Thanks
Your
for the
vibes,
stuff.
Yeah.
your vibes. Thank you.
Good vibes later.
That's true. Maybe I don't go out as. No, that's not true.
Ma'am.
How do you know?
Maybe you're always like, I'm at home, like staying home for the weekend.
That's true. You did just say that.
That's true. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Well, okay. People can go up to you anywhere. I go grocery shopping. I go to coffee shops. People don't like go up to me.
I feel like there are places where it's not kind of like normal for people
Yeah.
to go up to you. Because, like, for instance, like where I see the most people now outside of like the nightlife stuff is like at the gym.
Oh yeah.
But it's
yeah.
not
You can't
a
do
good
that
thing
at the
to
gym. I
approach
feel like
people
it's
at the gym.
rude,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Okay,
There are circumstances though. There
Yeah.
are circumstances.
There's always a circumstance,
Yeah.
but if they're attracted to you, it's the best time.
Yeah.
But if they're not attracted to you, it's the worst time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
know.
you should just go up and talk to them no matter what.
I feel a little rude. If someone's like
Yeah.
you're ruining like their gym
It's like
experience, and they
common
might feel
courtesy,
awkward,
right?
you know. So you do have to say it in a way where it's like, hey, you know, I'm not to be like overly creepy or anything, you
Yeah.
know.
Or
like,
you can just like help them with like something or
Yeah,
like.
would you like
babe,
a
you
spot?
you need a spot, baby.
She's like, do you think I can't fucking lift this by myself?
Oh,
You think I'm not independent
Oh, this is
ass
why I don't
fucking
do
woman?
this.
That's true. It really depends on the
Yeah.
girl. Some girls get really irritated. They're like, "Can't you see I'm working out?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm like, whatever. Like, you know.
Well, see,
I don't know, your
you're
energy's
more-
kinda-
Yeah, a little close. Yeah, maybe now she doesn't have that energy where it's like, hey,
No,
fuck off.
I
you
still
know?
feel like I have closed off energy
still
because I'm
do?
not ready to date yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't think I am.
Oh, so you think like your energy just shifts once you're ready? Like it aligns completely.
I think so. This is just me
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
all
yeah.
voodoo stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like.
No, this is about you, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when it's ready, it'll come to me. And then, so in the meantime, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and like, you know.
Is
yeah.
there ever like a sign, a trigger, or something like, I don't know, a star winks out, or like, you know, something to tell you? tells
No. Well, okay, I'm not like, I guess I'm not actively dating right now, but sometimes I'll like go on the apps. But
Yeah.
then the reason why I know I'm not ready is because like, once there's a match and they start talking to me, I'm like, I don't want to talk to them.
You're
Oh.
like, delete. I'll be back
Yeah,
in a
and
week.
then I feel bad. So then I'm like, why am I wasting people's time? So
Yeah.
might as well just like do
Do
my
you
own thing.
do you ever go on for like ego matches?
No.
Okay, I have some friends who do that.
I heard that, but I'm like, it doesn't. I don't know.
I've done that.
Cause like
Really? You've done that?
there you go.
What's
Mark, can
the
you explain?
psychology behind that?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, there's been times, so obviously I'm single, I'm not talking to anyone, and it's like
How long have you been single?
months.
Wait, what?
Months?
Oh, months. Oh, okay.
Months. Like more than half a year.
Okay, so you guys just got out of a relationship.
His was like 4 years, so it's different.
Yeah.
My relationships tend to be a lot more like 1 year, 10 months, 1 year and a half, 1 year,
Okay.
7 months.
Yeah.
His are like 4 years, 10 years, 5 years.
Interesting.
It's commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's a good dichotomy between us though, where it's like it's very much more long term. It's very more extroverted.
But I mean, obviously, you want to get to that point, right?
I do. Yes, I do.
Which is funny, right? Because like the guy who's like not really asking for it ends up in like that spot, and the guy who's asking for it is not getting.
Why do you think your relationships are short or considered short?
It usually tends to be like there are things that I want in my life that like the energy that I put into my life. Like let's say like I do try hard to be ambitious. I do try hard to work on myself. And sometimes I'll have partners who don't match that, where I'm like, they're not putting in work into themselves. They don't want more out of life. They're a lot more content.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it tends to be self-consciousness, where I'm like, I don't need you to be like uber confident or crazy, but I do need a certain amount of confidence, where I'm like, we're not in high school. I don't want to be having to like, help you with all your insecurities, and I will with the partner. Obviously, you do, and you know there's a give and go. But if it's like that,
there
all
has
the
to be
time,
a baseline.
I'm not somebody's therapist. We talked about this before, where it's like you don't want to be needed by someone, you want to be wanted by someone.
Oh yeah,
you want someone who's in their life, like they got their shit together, and that's been one of the things where I'm like, sometimes it's not always there.
Yeah,
and that tends to be the biggest issue, at least for me.
Okay. That's interesting because you're ambitious, right? But you want to find another ambitious person. Do you think two ambitious person can work?
Because it doesn't have to be necessarily where it's like, oh, you're like, oh, type A, getting this. That's not what ambition means. It's like you just want more out of life. You're not content staying in this like 9 to 5. You want just a little more, or you have like hobbies that you're ambitious about. You have things that you're not just, you don't want to go home and just watch TV. And like that's it. Like there's things that you actually, because for me it's like I look at it as a potential partner. Like okay, you have these hobbies and these kind of like things that you do in your life that eventually in the future they're gonna like continue going forward, so you want someone that matches your kind of energy, the things you put into, because like for me, I don't watch TV, like it's just not part of my life. So when I do date someone, it's like I want you to have certain things in your life that like we can build together. That's
true. But do you fault them for watching TV?
No, I don't fault them for watching TV. I'm very lenient in a lot of stuff. I'm like, obviously, like I know I'm the weird one for not watching TV, obviously. But it's more of like, I guess it's like, it is the vibe, like where it's like, do you want more out of life? It doesn't matter if you watch TV or you're lazy and stuff too, like, because I'm lazy too. But it's like, are you taking the time that you do have and investing it into yourself and the things that you want? Because if you're not and you're just kind of like lazing around, then I'm like.
So do you feel like you lose respect for them because you think they're like.
I wouldn't say I lose respect for them. It's more like I realize I'm like, okay, this person's probably not compatible with me, and it's not that I can't be lazy or anything like that. I just I make use of my time when I can. I'll take time of the day and I'll be lazy and like I won't do shit. I'll be a lazy piece of shit. But it's like that's time for me to like relax and everything, and that's fine if someone has that too, but as long as you're making the best use of your other time.
Would you call yourself a ambitious person?
I think people would consider me ambitious, like from the outside looking in, but for me, I don't think I'm not like, I don't know if ambition is the right word. Like if I want something, I'll do it, and I know that I will get it done.
Okay.
But it's I guess that is ambition.
It is.
I was like,
the definition.
Okay,
well, I feel like there is this kind of like, you put this kind of like weird pressure on ambition, and that's not also what I mean. Like you don't have to be like, super like uber successful person. It just means you have to try, or like you just have to want more, and that's and try a little bit. You don't have. I don't care where a person's at as long as they're trying. That's it.
I get that. A lot of guys feel that way. Actually, my friends was saying something similar, but like when I think about like what I want, like I'm like, what about like a girl who's like your cheerleader? Ambitious for you, but not ambitious for herself. She has to be ambitious for herself.
I think there's a good balance, because I've had that experience too. Where it's like someone who's uber supportive for you, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Like I don't usually need that, because I'm like very much like I'm my own cheerleader. But it is nice to have, even though like I don't need it. It's not something that I personally need.
I think that's the thing, but like I didn't think that too until I experienced something. So like we were two ambitious people, and I was like their number one cheerleader, but I got nothing back. Yeah. So then, and I don't think I need any like validation or anything, but when you're like giving so much and you get nothing, then you're like, that's not. That doesn't feel right.
How did you notice it? Like at what point did you notice? Like,
I noticed it like from the beginning. Yeah, and then I would bring it up, and it would never change, and that's why like we broke up.
Did they give you a reasoning why that was?
Not really. Like, you know, I did mention it, and like his response, like, yeah, I've been told that before, and then nothing changed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel that's a very easy change to make. Your partner has something like,
Hey.
dude,
Yeah.
you're the best.
Also,
You're the best dentist in the
is
world.
It is an easy thing to change, but the reason why they probably got there is probably difficult to unravel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like underlying issues.
Yeah.
It's like me, like I think I know the underlying issues, and
Yeah.
it's not my place to like whatever.
Yeah.
But like but you know, it's like at what point do you like just like abandon? Like, you know, it's like you know, it's like
Yeah,
am I gonna stick around and like be this number one supporter, but he doesn't support me?
Yeah.
And then hope that it'll change, like help him fix it. But then at some point you need like something
definitely.
in return.
Are you an early abandoner, or are you like the captain of the Titanic and you sink with the ship? So like,
I'm an abandoner. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Not in
shout
a,
out to all the other abandoners.
No. I don't abandon. I'm loyal as fuck. I'm so loyal.
See
But-
waters jump ship.
No, but I'm definitely on guard the first time. Like,
wow.
first date, I'm like red flags. Like I see the like the bad before I see the good.
That's
and
normal. That's like
I don't know if that's normal.
it's pretty normal. I think it's pretty normal.
Is that
it?
normal?
I don't think that's
Yeah, he
normal.
doesn't seem like
When you're going on a date with someone, you see what's like, you know, their weird stuff. Their
But I'm not looking for like red flags.
I don't think you're
first
looking for it,
thing.
but it's there.
But that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
she's
yeah.
seeing. Like,
Are you
the
like
first thing she
actively
knows is
looking, or
red
is just you
flags.
just
I'm not
notice it?
actively looking,
Yeah.
but if they say something,
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, like
Yeah,
you know.
But you're also, that's the thing you notice first, not the good things, right? So it's kind of
I
like
mean,
your
it sticks
preference
out.
to look
It
for
sticks
that.
out. So like
Yeah.
I'm like when I date, I'm like not dating to marry, but like it's serious, right? I'm not just
Yeah.
like dating for fun. Like
Yeah.
there's a difference, right? So then like obviously if I go on a first date, I want to see if this person is going to be like aligned with my like lifestyle. And if they're not, then I usually abandon early, like
Wow.
before like but once I'm in a relationship, I'm like a ride or die. Like I will like, you know. So like in the beginning when I'm trying to like feel it out,
Yeah.
I'm very like I wouldn't say I have my guard up, but I like think about things, you know.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
crazy because like usually I'm like that, and then my last one, or yeah, I was like telling my friends, I was like, yeah, I don't know, like there's like some red flags, and they're like, you're thinking too much, this and that. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like
Yeah.
not think about it, and then it turned out to like I was
Yeah.
right, you know. So then now I'm like I don't know which way to
That's why
go.
you don't listen
That's
to your
the one
friends.
that
I know, right?
that's the one that didn't reciprocate.
I'm gonna leave it vague,
Oh, okay.
just in case.
Okay.
In case they're watching.
Yeah.
Pretty more
actually,
than one.
I actually think it's important. You know how people talk about, on the first date, you're not supposed to talk about religion. You're not supposed to
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
politics. And there's one more.
Taxes or wait.
Taxes? Damn, if you talk about taxes, that's the end of that.
No, if you talk about taxes, I'm like, tell me more. I'm
Yeah.
like very
Wow,
into
really?
Oh my god, one person was like on like Hinge or whatever. They're like, talk to me. Like I love talking about 401ks and
Yeah.
taxes. I'm like, oh my god, sign me
Yeah.
up. Like I like actively
I just
was like.
I just started my 401k last
Yeah.
month, so I've been super immersed in this.
But that's the thing. It's like what you're like into. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
attract the things that you're like
Yeah.
into. But anyway.
Oh, but I always talk
CPAs.
about that first date. I always talk about that religion and
Me too.
politics.
You do talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah, every time.
Dude, I talk about the most inappropriate things to the point where someone was like, "You shouldn't be asking that on the first date." And then in my head, I'm like, "You're not getting a second date if you're gonna like if that's your
No,
response."
yeah, because it's important to like maybe vet isn't the right word, but it's like, what if you're not aligned with this person? Like, what if they're? I mean, it's happened to me where I'm like, yo, I was dating someone, really liked them, found out they were a Trump supporter, and like, you know, that's fine on
Wow,
you, that's
really?
okay, you know, like I'm not, you know, hating on that, but like it's just not my own philosophy, and to me, like it is a deal breaker for me.
But I do think there's a way to find out without like.
No, yeah,
directly,
there is,
like,
there is,
asking
there
them,
is a
yeah.
way. Obviously, like you work it into the conversation
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
very
yeah.
smooth and
Yeah.
natural way. But I never had. So this was like a month or two down the line when I found out, and I was like,
Yeah.
huh, this makes me feel kind of weird.
But then isn't that
Yeah.
hard though? Now that you have feelings,
It was
Yeah,
still
you're
early
committed.
enough. It was still,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
still
yeah,
early
yeah.
enough where I was like, I can't do this.
so you abandon.
Oh, I've been ship. Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like, there are people who you learn things about later on in a relationship because you're not gonna find out everything up front.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, that is something I don't like, or that is something I disagree with.
Yeah.
But that deal breaker that was a deal breaker at the beginning turns out to not really be a deal breaker
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
the line.
yeah,
And you
that's the
spend enough
thing.
time, and you feel strongly enough.
With
about
some
Yeah.
things, because there's core values that you can't change. Like, and
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, no, I
you
agree.
know, that's why, like, at least for me, when I do date someone, it's like those core values come up first.
that. Yeah.
So I know I'm like, oh, you know, you kind of like brush up, but you don't have to like get into a huge conversation about it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's at first date. It should be fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, you brush on it like, oh, you know, haha.
So let's say something that you won't find out until later, something that you can't find out until later. Let's say something like cheating, right? Because they can't cheat on you until they're with you,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then let's say you're in a relationship. Let's say you're married, you have kids. But At the beginning, definitely a deal breaker, right? Now, core value, what would you do? You're in a marriage, you have kids.
Do you think it's a deal breaker if someone cheated before?
I do, yeah.
You think that's a...
Yeah.
Have you guys... Okay, first of all, have you guys been cheated on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah.
I think so.
But you haven't confirmed. You don't know.
I didn't confirm. I couldn't confirm.
Yeah.
And then do you have trust issues because of that?
I don't have trust issues,
good.
actually.
Good for
yeah.
you.
I don't have any trust issues.
So it's a deal breaker. If you find out on the first date that they've cheated before.
I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker. I feel like people go through shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people have some crazy experiences in their lives, and
yeah.
I can't speak to what they went through.
Mm-hmm.
But it is more of a like, okay, you know, let me I think I have a good intuition of what a person is like. And if they told me, like, they're being honest, like, yeah, this happened to me, like, I cheated, I did this. And I'm like, okay, you know, thank you for being honest with me. You didn't have to tell me that, you know? So you do give a little bit of, like, you know, wiggle room for that. But no, it's not a deal breaker for me. Like,
but it is for you.
Yeah. How about for you?
I'm in between again. It depends on the situation.
It does
if
depend.
they were in a relationship for like 10 years and they cheated, I would say that's a deal breaker. But if they cheated in high school or college and it was like not a serious relationship, then I can you know, but then in the back of your mind, you're always thinking like, once a cheater, always a cheater, you know?
And I don't even think that's true. Like, personally, I don't even think once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I know that in the back of my head, I'm always going to be looking over my shoulder. And that's the last thing I want to do is not trust the person I'm with.
Have you guys ever looked through your significant other's phone?
oh, yeah.
Really?
I have.
Why? What makes you do that?
That's so crazy. Like, the guy that's
I know,
feels
right?
like
It's
he's
like
not into you, and the guy
opposite.
that's like hasn't you. It's like that's so fucking crazy.
Okay, yeah. So what? Curiosity or like suspicion?
More curiosity, and just in a sense where it's like we live in this age where you're constantly bombarded by people like on your DMs, on your social, like any kind of social media where like you get all this attention. And a part of me was like, I wonder if they respond to this. So I was like,
so what do they do? What like?
That's the thing.
What does
I don't.
that tell you? Like,
It
what
depends.
does it do for your?
It depends on the structure of our relationship, like how good we are. Like, are we just dating?
Yeah.
Are we boyfriend
So
girlfriend?
the one that you looked at, were you guys that serious?
No, we weren't serious.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's why a part of me was like, you know, am I being? I was being like, am I insecure right now? Am I being played?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
is there? I don't know how strong our bond is, and we haven't defined something. So I'm like, look,
Wait, so she didn't lock her phone? Like, how did you?
Yeah,
it was just there.
Did you find anything?
No, it was. Not really.
Yeah,
a little bit, but not really. You know,
Okay.
What's not really
It's
mean?
more
Yeah.
like kind of like flirting here and there, but nothing like crazy like that. You know, it wasn't something where I'd be like, it's over. You know,
Yeah.
Oh.
it wasn't like cheating. It was more like accepting the attention and like you know how. Okay, let me ask you. I'm sure there's.
Okay.
How often do you get hit up on DMs? Like, a good amount, right?
Yeah, all the time.
So you, right. So, you know, there's a difference between like you leave someone unread, you never open a message, or you entertain the idea. You know, there is a difference. There are different levels because you see this person, this person, this person, okay, you know, sure.
But that's not the reason why.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the reason. That's whatever.
Like, just because they accept doesn't mean that they're
I know.
interested.
No, I know. But reciprocating attention is not a form of cheating, but it's something, you know. So that's what I'm talking about. That's all it was, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm like, okay, I was on the fence about it. I'm like, okay, you know, it's not too bad, you know.
Okay, well, the real question is, did you tell her?
Yeah, I told her right away.
Oh,
Wow.
then what's the point of doing that then?
It was a moment of like.
It was like
it was just
you're like the phone.
I was like, ooh, do I do it? And I was like, I gave into it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I told her right away.
Have you done that?
Never.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like trust is a big thing in all my relationships. I never felt the need to like trust has always like I've never not trusted like my partner.
Oh, wow.
And like, you know, does that mean you didn't trust her then? I would like
I wouldn't say it's that I didn't trust her. It's more like I had my own insecurities, where I was like, this isn't like we haven't validated anything. We're not together. You
So
know?
you're just curious to see if she's
I
like
was
talking
curious,
about
and I told her right away. And whenever I fuck
yeah.
up, and I'm like, let me tell you right away.
Yeah,
Let me tell you what I did.
That's kind of strange because don't you think that the best time to be looking at a phone is like when you are official? Because when you're just kind of dating and it's not really there, yeah, it's kind of fair game for her to open messages. So it doesn't really validate your point of thought, even if she is kind of like flirting back.
I agree.
If I was official, I wouldn't look through her phone because I'm like, you're at
crazy.
that point.
Yeah.
Because when you're like, if I'm choosing to be with this person, I'm gonna trust them. You know, what's the point of me like torturing myself and be like, unless I like on you for sure or suspected, then I'd be like,
Don't get me wrong. Like I haven't looked through my ex's phones, but it's because I haven't had reason to.
Yeah, exactly.
See, if I see a red flag, I'm like,
I think so too. I think if I had a suspicion, I would be tempted to, but I've never had that.
I'm actually the opposite, where it's like I like turn a blind eye to it sometimes. And now
she's cheating on me, but I don't want to. I don't want to know.
I'm like, oh, you did cheat on me. I'm like, oh crap, yeah. Like one of my exes, I found out like a year after, and I was
really?
So after that, I was like,
hey, that's almost better. Because a year, you're kind of over them.
Yeah. Actually, it didn't feel bad at all. I was like, people would be like, oh, I feel terrible after I got cheated. I was like, oh, I felt great. I was like, actually in a really good spot in my life.
You know, the interesting about cheating is like I don't know if I ever. You don't really know if you ever got cheated on. Like,
because the best cheaters.
Unless they're honest, though.
Yeah. Well, it's like not that I know of. So I wonder if if I found out like now that I'm like.
Would you be okay with
that? I would think. Would that affect me in any way? Will I have trust? I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh.
Or maybe I'm like, maybe I'll be like, I need to be more careful. Like, because like, how did he do it and I not notice?
I mean, it sounds like you dated some solid guys, like in general.
Oh, yeah. I would say all my exes, like, nothing but good things to say about them.
You've dated a good amount of good guys, right? But you also,
and bad.
I'm sure, and bad ones, I'm sure. But, like, do you feel like there's, like, a approach, like a game that they play or a game that you play? Like cat and mouse sometimes?
Yeah, I feel like if they play games, I'm, like, immediately turned off.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, so I'm like I'm like a straight shooter. Like, you gotta just, like we said, first date, you just, like, lay it out on the line. Like, show them what you really are about, and then go from there.
So how long until you tell a guy that you like him?
Oh,
if you're a straight shooter, right? So.
Yeah, I feel like they'll know. Like, okay, so like all my relationships, it's been like a natural progression. It's not like, will you be my girlfriend, or like I like you, or like, you know, it's always just been like, first date, we hit it off, and then we talk every single day until we're in a relationship. It's like that type of thing, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's my pattern of relationships. But I was talking to my friend. I was like, maybe I should like, have you guys had like friendships first and then you guys become a romantic relationship?
That's all of my
really.
Yeah.
I can't see how that works.
I've had it once.
Mm-hmm. But what like? So you have to be initially attracted to her then as a friend first, right?
Yeah.
Because how does it all of a sudden switch? Like, oh, I'm gonna like see her romantically.
I think it's like we have a moment where I'm like, whoa, this is not.
What's the moment?
I think it's usually when we have a moment where we look at each other after we say something. It sounds like fucking corny as hell. It really
I'm sorry,
is.
I don't mean to laugh.
No. I get it because I would fucking laugh too if you guys said it. It's just kind of like we said something. We're like usually alone, and it's kind of like, oh, did they mean something more? Did I mean something more? And then
were you guys being vulnerable with each other?
Yeah, usually. Yeah,
that's,
and then
I feel like
it kind of like causes some kind of curiosity, and then it develops because then you kind of probe more, kind of dig more. Like, oh, how far can I take this?
Interesting.
And then it develops from there usually. And then I'm just like, wow, okay, like I never thought of you like this, but kind of cute.
All of a sudden, overnight.
No, seriously. I also because like the way I handle like friendships is a little different too. Like I'm platonic with like every single girl, like right off the bat. Like if I meet you're like my friend. That's the only way I see you until like something like that happens.
The problem is that you're platonic and they like you and you don't know it.
Oh, are you oblivious to the signs?
He's hardcore oblivious.
Really?
I'm not hardcore oblivious. I'm just like kind of oblivious, a little bit.
But if your friends tell you like, oh, that girl's really interested,
it takes me a bit.
Are you in denial?
It takes them a moment.
I think now that I've had like my track record's kind of terrible. I would say I'm in denial. You know me, hindsight, yes.
Okay, but why are you in? Okay, I kind of feel you because so when you find out a girl is interested, she's your friend.
Yeah.
And you kind of like friend. I don't know. Do you guys friend zone girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you put her in the friend zone, and then someone tells you, oh, she's obviously interested in you. How do you react? Do you like?
Oh my God, it takes a lot. I don't know.
Peter is the pretty girl that all the guys are friends with, but
definitely
she's like, they're all my friends.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. So when you find out that they like you, do you like shy away from them?
No,
or how
I don't
do you
shy
act?
away from them. I'll just kind of like play it off as if I don't know.
Okay.
Until it gets to where it's like too much, and I'll be like.
Does it get uncomfortable?
Sometimes,
pretty girl move.
yeah. I had someone like recently that I just became friends with, and it was just weird. I think just because. She was like, yeah, it's really hard for guys to be platonic with me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm really good at being platonic with girls. You know what I mean? So you found the right guy, you know? And then, like, probably at the end of the conversation, she was like, oh, I should have did it. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I should have kissed you. I'm like, what?
Oh, my God.
Didn't we just fucking talk about being platonic with each other? I was like, I don't get this. And she's like, you weren't thinking what I was thinking? I was like, no. I was thinking exactly what I told you. I was like, what? It didn't make sense to me.
Maybe that's your appeal. Maybe because the girl, they can't have you, they want you.
That's literally Peter's story.
Yeah.
Every time he
Maybe no, he's using it to his
That's
advantage.
my book is like a page long.
every time he tries to stop, they keep pulling back in, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about that, it's like the same thing where you said you have that closed off aura.
Mm-hmm.
Like people know. I feel like I have that sometimes, and then it makes people want to come back more.
Yeah.
And then the opposite, where I'm like, hey, I'm right here. Hey, look at me. They don't even pay attention.
Yeah.
It's
That's usually
weird.
how it is. People want what they can't have.
Yeah. It's literally happening so many times.
Mario always brings up, I have this thing where like I'm in it right now, where I call it like my year of like celibacy.
Look at it. That's actually a purity ring that he's wearing.
Yeah.
Are you really not?
Are
you really?
I am.
He's really
I really am. Yeah. And like,
Interesting. Wait, can I ask you why, or what does it do for you?
it helps me keep my mind clear. Yeah, focus on things.
Does that mean like, what about like jacking off and stuff?
I tried not to do that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was part of it. I thought you were still doing that.
No, yeah. I mean, I try not to do it. Like, I'm more lenient on that, but I'm not like it's not like on my mind all the time. And it shows because like I don't do it.
Have you done this before, the celibacy thing?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
He's, he's tried.
Yeah.
Oh, how long was like your longest?
So this is the funny part. It's like when I try to do it, it rarely works because it's like, whoa, how do you know that I'm celibate? Like, why do you? Yeah, why do you?
Oh, they're just throwing themselves at you.
Yeah, and then the opposite where I'm like, oh, I'm not celibate anymore. Like it's
Can't
crickets.
get it.
You're like, what the hell? So yeah, I've done it before, and this time it's worked out well. I think it's just maybe because like I have more willpower this time. I'm just like, nah, like
The no jacking off thing really does build your willpower.
Yeah,
though.
it does.
That one
It
is
does.
crazy.
Yeah.
I did it last year, where I did the whole year.
Did you count down and then the last day you're like, I'm gonna go get some, or did like who broke it?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. So his thing is no. His thing
Oh.
is no fat.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't mean he did not.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't do Peter's no celibacy. I did not do the no celibacy.
I
no.
see. You did something
Just-
else.
Yeah, just no masturbation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's like you build personal willpower off it, because it's like this thing that's been ingrained in you since you were a kid too, where you're like, oh,
Interesting.
if I want pleasure, I'll just go get it, and
Yeah.
forcing yourself to break that habit
Yeah.
is really hard.
Yeah. I
It's
bet.
like,
Does it make? Okay, are we talking? Does it make sex better? Do you notice a difference?
I would say yes, in the sense where like I don't know if we've talked about this before, but like porn is very like I think porn is very dangerous, just because you create this environment of what you expect pleasure to be,
Yeah, for
and when you
sure.
actually have sex, it does not. Your brain is like, I'm expecting this, and I'm not getting this, and you don't derive the same pleasure. And there's like people who are porn addicts, and I learned about this like a long time ago, so I stopped watching it. Like I may like masturbate here and there, but I don't use porn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I know that. What do you do? Just like imagine stuff?
Yeah, it's my imagination.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got a powerful imagination.
I know.
You sick bastard.
Got a good memory.
Oh, so you're saying that you need porn too?
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use my imagination at all. Yeah. No.
Interesting.
My imagination sucks. Yeah.
Because
Like,
it really conditions you to like feel this certain way just to this, And it was do you remember S?
yeah.
Yeah, me and
course.
him, S is one of our buddies who passed away, and me and him, we would always talk about it. We'd be like, okay, no porn, no fab. This was years ago, and like I remember like we tried, and we'd be like, oh, did you do it? Like, no, I couldn't do it. 3 months? Oh, okay. 1 week? Oh, okay. 2 days? Okay. And like you keep track, like, and be like, we'd always like check in with each other.
Yeah.
And I remember when I did it, I was like, you know what? This one's for you, S.
So you did it for a year?
I did it for a year.
Wow. Were you like counting down?
Yes.
I bet you were.
Yes, it was.
What do you think about that? Your significant other like watching porn or like masturbating?
I think it's fine. It's never been an issue in our relationship. If it gets to a point where it's an issue, then I think I
Like,
would.
what do you mean by issue? Like, what
Like-
makes it an issue?
I feel like if it is an issue, it'll be an issue. But I've never had that.
Oh, so you don't know what it is exactly?
Yeah.
Like, you can't point it out yet?
Yeah.
No, okay. That's too bad.
Yeah, because some people it's like if they watch it's an issue. If
Oh,
they do
really?
too often, it's an issue. If they do it when they're with them, like, oh, there's this person around, like, why would you not have sex with me instead of watching porn?
Oh,
It
yeah.
makes
I
me
don't-
feel like I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Sometimes it takes over the relationship where it's like they'd rather do that than have sex.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or they're like, and maybe they try to like, okay, let's put it on while we do it, and that's fine for like if you're trying to
Yeah.
kink it up. But if you're doing it every single time, like then there's a problem.
Yeah.
I heard it gets so bad where some guys can't even get up.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
like that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
not realistic.
that too.
enough to them.
And that's
Yeah.
what I don't want. But speaking about crazy stories, what have been like your craziest dating experiences? I know you've been on the apps. I know you've dated here and there and stuff. So
I feel like I'm a veteran when it comes to the apps. Like,
I'm a vet. How many swipes you got? How many matches you got?
Not like that, but like when it was like, I guess now I'm not.
Like you were sacrificing your mind and body for the.
She's like, I guess I'll swipe right in this.
Not even.
She has like a check mark on Hinge.
They should have that.
They should.
No, but
she got her own Hinge reels.
Oh, dude.
No, sometimes I screenshot like all the crazy things that people say, just because it's funny. But
that'd be tight.
I do have it. Like I was thinking of doing a podcast episode about that.
Don't do that. That's mean.
I know, but
no,
that's
you just block out their name.
Okay, block out their name.
Yeah, for sure. But still, like I don't know, crazy stories. I've been on some like bad dates, like, and some like very inconsiderate people. But
like, what's the most inconsiderate thing?
Okay, I have a story. Like, I guess this one was like, okay, very casual, right? Like, so when I'm like in the chapter of my life where I'm dating, everything's very casual. So like, we like match on the app and it's like, hey, what are you doing? You want to play tennis? It's like, okay.
That's nice.
So like, we just play tennis, super like chill, like, he came, we played tennis, and then, it seemed like we would get along. We talked about taxes and stuff. And he was telling me about this real estate thing that he does. So like, he just, I guess he like buys properties out in the boonies for like 3 bedrooms for like $50K or something, and then just like rents them out.
Okay.
So I was like really curious about that. So then I kept talking to him about it. And obviously it was like really fun. So then after tennis, we went to like dessert, right? And he's like, oh, I know this like dessert place is like my favorite place. So then I got there first, and then I went to the restroom, and then he came later, and I saw him ordering already, right? I was like, oh, that's so nice. Like he's like ordering for us. And then like thinking like, I was like, oh, that's weird that he didn't ask me what I wanted or if I had any preference. But I was like, oh, it's his favorite place. He probably like orders the same thing. Yeah. And then like and then we talk, we wait for the it's like those rolled ice cream, so it took a while for it to come out.
Was it sweet rolled tacos? Shouts to Kenny, bro.
No, rolled ice cream.
Okay.
And then it came out, and then I'm like, and then I was like, cool, we're just like 2 spoons, right? And he goes, you're not gonna order anything? And then I was like, did you see it going there? Yeah. So then I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna get anything. And he didn't even offer like to share, Damn. And then that's not even the end of it.
Oh.
So then so then I was like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just ice cream. I don't need ice cream at like 10 p.m. right? So then like,
don't you?
You try to justify.
I know. I'm like, but then the next day, like I'm like curious about this real estate thing, right? But at that point, I was kind of like, he said some questionable things, like very questionable things. So then I was like, kind of friend zoning him already.
Like what? It's like questionable.
He would just say like things like, oh, I want a trophy wife, and like if my wife has a baby, I would want her to like snap back into her like figure, like just very like male.
Very weird first date conversation.
Yeah. But
I'm glad you're saying this because I feel like some guys need to know that shit.
And it's kind of good that they're like showing their true colors immediately right off the bat, But it's like, come on, it's a first date. You think they're in their best behavior. If this is their best behavior, can you imagine what they actually like are like?
I actually do the opposite. I show like the worst side of myself.
Me too. Actually, sometimes I show up to dates with like no makeup.
Yep. Dude, they've done that to me. Like when I've been on dates and I was like,
do you get offended though?
No, not the makeup, but it's like, okay, she had food in her teeth, and I'm like, bro, like
that's when you got offended.
I get it, like you don't have, and I get it. I've seen it happen before, and I'm okay with it. I love it when girls don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
I love it because I'm not a big fan of makeup. But if you got food in your teeth, like there's a line.
Okay, that's another level. Did you tell her she had food in her teeth?
No.
That's another thing.
Toxic.
I didn't know. It was like a girl hit me up on DMs, and I was like, okay, like sure.
It turns out like in her picture, she looks exactly the same. She still has like the food.
But it was that combined with the no makeup and like it looked like you weren't trying. And I get the mentality behind it, but sometimes I'm like, you executed it wrong.
Well, that's the thing. That's why it's like tennis like as a first date. No one's gonna wear makeup like going to the gym or doing tennis. So that it makes sense, right? But yeah, I tend to do that. I tend to like not try that hard.
Sorry, it went worse.
Oh yeah, it went worse. So he said like very like male chauvinistic things. So then I was like, okay, he's like friend zone. But I was curious about the real estate thing. So like the next day I kept like asking him about these things, and he goes like, and I guess the type of questions I was asking, he's like, wait, how much money do you make? And I was like, I'm not gonna answer that, and then he's like, what do you do? He's like, what did you say you did again? And then I just like kept it on red, and then I guess he like remembered, or he looked back at my profile or something, and then he's like, out of nowhere, he's like, damn, like making this comment about like how much I make, which is like not even accurate. I don't know where he got his like research, but I'm like, okay, that's, I don't know. No one wants to hear that, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, I just ignored it and just kept asking my real estate questions. He's like, you know what? All these questions, this is something we have to do like in person. So like, you want to meet up for dinner and stuff? And at that point I was like, okay, I need to eat anyway, right? But then like literally like came in my scrubs, like not with my laptop, like about to take notes type of thing, right? So then like he like mentions like, you know, what I do a little bit, but I just like ignore it. And then he also said a lot of male chauvinistic things again. So I'm like in my head, I'm like definitely just
what
like,
were the other things? Just for the viewers out there,
Yeah.
you know, so they can learn.
like I don't even remember. Like he was like talking about his ex. This is how I. This is
Ooh.
no. This is how you. No.
Okay.
I brought it up. So this is how
okay.
you know you're getting friend zoned when the girl
Talks about.
starts asking you about your ex and then talks about like her dating stuff. I feel like.
I disagree.
Yeah.
So that's actually the other one where it's like on a first date, politics, religion, and exes. I'm
Well,
okay.
Wow, you talk about your
Actually,
ex.
you're right.
Yeah.
I used to talk about exes too because I want to know why they broke
Exactly.
up. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm totally comfortable with it. Like I'm like, hey, if as long as we have a conversation beforehand, like you don't like just go into it. So my last boyfriend. No, you don't do that. It's like okay, we can talk about this. Let's have like an adult conversation about it, and let's find out a little bit about each other. Where it's like okay, the reasons why and everything you're looking for. But like you can do it. It's very doable.
That's right. I forgot. I used to do that.
Sorry, go on.
But anyway, yeah. So I forgot what he said. But anyway, the bill came, and then like I'm like, you know, because like we're friends zone, like I'm gonna pay like half of it, right? The bill came, I like take out my wallet, and then he sees me taking out my wallet, and he goes, "Oh yeah, you should pay. You make more than me." And I'm like, "Oh hell no!" I was like, "No, we're splitting."
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How do you say like male chauvinistic
Yeah.
stuff and not fucking at least attempt to pay for
Yeah,
it?
I don't know, but
If you're looking for a sugar mama, guys.
not even.
She makes a lot of money.
No,
you
I
gotta
don't.
put
I also have a lot of debt.
the dollar signs right here. I don't think we have enough space
No,
for all
it
those
was
zeros.
it was never confirmed like how much I was making. So he
Yeah.
was like had this idea, like I don't even know what number he was thinking, but and then so like obviously after that I was like F this, like I can get my real estate advice somewhere else, you know. So then I like ghosted him, and then literally like 3 months later he sends me a text and he's like, hey, I have an event, free food, free cocktails if you want to be my +1. I'm like I'm that desperate to get free food and free cocktails at like, and it's like if you
like I
wanted me
paid
to-
for dinner, bitch. Like the fuck?
The thing is, it's like I hate people who do that. Like it's like if you want to like meet up, just say like, hey, do you want to like
Yeah.
have dinner with me? Not like, hey, there's an event if you want free food and stuff, you know. But
So how was the event?
Food was great.
Cocktails off the
But
chart.
I was like offended when he sent. I was like, dude, I haven't talked to you in like 3 months, and like you're talking like we're like I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
What would you say your red flags are?
People who are looking for sugar mamas.
How dare you? That is a pink flag.
You know what? It didn't used to be. Like, I know, like, people are kidding, but it actually, like, I think because I had that experience with that guy, it actually, like, not offends me, but it makes me, like, ugh. Like, you know?
No way.
It does.
Oh, wow.
It does, yeah. And, like, now I get, like, why guys, like, I don't know. I think most guys don't want to be, like, taken advantage of financially. They don't want, like, I know some guys don't care, right?
Oh, I do. I don't want.
Like,
I do not want to
a
be
gold
sugar.
I
digger,
care.
like a gold digger.
No, I care. I care definitely
Yeah.
for sure.
So now I know how that feels, right? Like, actually, I'm seeing more and more. I stopped putting like what I do, like my profession, in the dating apps because it was beginning to be an issue. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. I've
Mario
never-
just calls himself a janitor. So.
I do. I really do.
No, I just like I don't put anything anymore. I just don't want to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
But usually when they find out, there's always a comment, and like it just makes me like, I don't know what it. I don't know. It's weird.
You think it's trauma from that
I think
experience?
so. I think
Wow.
so.
You got to work through your trauma.
Yeah, I know.
So you know what I personally like doing now, just from making conversation with people. Like I usually ask people like, you know, very common question like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I usually mean like for fun.
Yeah.
So I always clarify. They're like, oh yeah, I do this work. I'm a real estate agent or whatever. So I'm like, I know. Like, what do you do for fun? Like,
Yeah,
what are
yeah,
your
yeah.
hobbies? Because I
Yeah.
feel like that defines a person more than their
For
occupation
sure.
a lot of times.
You know when people ask me that,
Yeah.
I answer that way.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't
Nice.
answer my profession because I like, you know, I am a dentist, but like there's so much more that I
Yeah.
do that I find more like interesting. So
Yeah.
I try, and I'm secretly trying to like not tell them that that's what I do right off the
Yeah,
bat. But yeah, that's how I approach that question
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I answer mine just the same because like it is what I'm a workaholic, so it is what I do most of the time too. You know,
Yeah.
it is
Oh,
my.
I see.
Can't
Oh.
really.
I feel like it's just more interesting. It's like to ask about it like with you for fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've also seen the opposite side. I remember one of my friends. We were in Vegas, and I think it was XS or something. And we were talking to these girls, and then this one of the girls was like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm a nurse." And she was like, "Ew."
Are you serious?
Yeah, she was like, "Ew." Like, you probably don't make that much money.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and she walked away.
Dang.
Yeah.
I would think that's attractive. Like, ooh, he's gonna take care of me.
Oh, I thought you were saying like her attitude was
Oh,
attractive.
no.
Damn.
Damn, high standards. Like, goddamn.
Dang,
How much do-
girls
yeah.
are mean.
Wait, Adrian, how much do nurses make?
Oh, why would I know? Yeah, post a picture, Adrian.
Wait, are you a nurse?
No, he's Filipino.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, now it's time for lightning round where we ask our guests some rapid fire questions. If they can't answer on time, they have to drink.
Yep, but she doesn't drink though, so
So
she'll
pretend to.
she can pretend to drink.
All right, Judy, are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. When was your first kiss? Drink.
Like age? I don't know. I'm really bad at 19. I don't. Oh no, actually no, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Does height matter?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Ooh. Shout out to all the short kings.
Yeah.
Did you see me hesitate? I didn't really want to admit that, but
All right,
it does.
what is the cutoff?
Oh, I dated a short one before. 5'7" was the shortest.
Okay, that's fine.
Wow.
It was weird though. It's like, I don't know.
Do you have a fetish?
No.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Oh.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. What is if you were a DJ, what would your name be?
Ooh. Dr. Girlfriend.
Shameless plug.
Dr. Dot Girlfriend.
Favorite thing about being a dentist?
The kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a certain body part that you like?
Arms.
Oh, okay. Give some advice to the viewers out there for dating and dentistry.
Dating and dentistry.
Dating, something that applies to both dating and dentistry.
Oh.
Keep your mouths clean.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'll take a drink to that. Goddamn.
Go, Peter.
I actually thought you'd be stumped.
Yeah.
What?
I thought you'd be stumped.
Oh, really?
Just quick with it.
Okay. Do you care who pays for the first date?
Yes.
Who should pay for the first?
The guys.
Oh, the guys.
Yes.
Dang.
She's not a sugar mama.
Not, sugar
Not for the
mama.
first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect height for a guy.
6'9".
I don't know. There's no perfect.
Really? There's not
Yeah.
one you're like, there's 6'2". That's like my perfect guy. He's not
That's
too
too tall.
Oh wow.
I would like. I don't know. All the guys I dated are like 5'10". They just have to be taller than me.
Okay. What's your height?
5'4.5".
5'4.5".
The half is important.
Yeah. That's
Well, I tried to say 5'5", and the nurse was like, "You're not 5'5". So I was like, "Okay,
wow. Okay. Does age matter?
no."
Oh wow.
Oh.
Really? Youngest you would date?
Oh, okay. I was thinking up, but it doesn't. I think maturity matters more.
Wow.
But so it turns out that like obviously like the more mature ones are the older ones. So I personally haven't dated younger.
But you're open to it.
I actually think my age is too young.
What's your age?
33.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I'm turning 33.
So 33. Okay, cool.
Well, that's just a maturity thing too. Like most guys my age are not like.
Well, I'm
That
older
much.
than you. I'm telling you.
I was saying this to you. I'm like, you
That's
know
why
what?
I'm like-
That does not always apply.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like 40.
Okay. First thing you look for in a guy?
They have to be nice.
They have to be nice. How do you determine if they're nice?
Not nice, but like they have to be a good person. And I can usually I can tell.
Really, based
Yeah.
off of.
Just like how they talk and like how they talk about people.
It's the aura.
It is.
the
I thought she was
aura.
gonna say like the waiter thing, you know? You know
It
what I'm
is
talking
that.
about?
It's
thing
how
is
they
important.
interact with people.
Oh,
People.
okay,
And how they
okay.
talk about their exes, how they talk about their parents, how they talk about their friends.
Got it. Okay.
You'd
Do
be surprised. Like people like I've been on a date where someone the first time I met them, it was all negative stuff. We found out we had a mutual friend, and I was like, oh, I know her, and he just starts talking like crap about
Shit?
her.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm
wow.
like, did I not say she's my friend?
Who the fuck
Yeah.
does that?
No, that was another date too, where it was just like all negative.
Wow. That's fucking
And I
terrible.
stayed for dessert too, and I'm like, damn.
The
I'm
food
too
must have
nice.
been fucking
Who
good.
paid? Who paid?
Well, he paid, and then I paid for
Oh,
dessert.
at least you got that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I mean, that's the least.
Yeah, at the very least. Damn. That's crazy. What's your biggest deal breaker?
Probably if they smoke cigarettes.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
dang.
Yeah, I can't.
That's
I'm a
the thing.
dentist.
That's true.
Dentist.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What if they vape?
I've dated people who I don't prefer it. Yeah, I don't like anything that's addictive, because then it becomes like it might become a problem later on.
Don't you feel like a lot of things can be addictive?
Yeah,
though?
anything can be addictive.
Yeah, I was like.
But
So everything is a
nicotine
problem.
is like it's like proven to be addictive.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So it's
yeah.
like things that are made to be addictive.
Yeah. Like
Got it.
substance that can be, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I mean, they can do it, but like once in a while, like so, like, it's not every day.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Favorite kind of food?
Food?
Mm-hmm.
He
Sushi.
asked that.
Oh, did you? Oh shit! Fuck, I was not listening.
Obviously not.
Oh shit. Oh.
I have, yeah.
Dated someone what?
Who didn't have straight teeth.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you more particular about teeth now?
I try not to be, but I do notice it.
Okay.
But I have friends who are like, I can't date him. That tooth, like, I'm like, no, that's something that can be fixed,
How many
Wow.
times a day do you floss?
once.
Oh.
Sometimes I forget to.
Ooh.
Does the guy have to be the breadwinner?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much money do you make?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
I was ready to
coming.
use that one.
Oh, that was good.
I was waiting.
drink.
I was like,
I'll drink before I answer
Yeah,
that.
damn.
Not even my parents know how much I make. I don't tell anybody.
Really?
I just think it's a weird topic. Like it's just weird.
Were we talking about this on the podcast? The
Money?
finances? But
What?
I was having this conversation with someone where I'm like, at least me and my family, we are super open about our finances
Yeah,
because we
same.
all work together. We're like,
Yeah.
everyone knows how much to make. We know how much to set apart. We know how much we're saving.
also
and everything
different
too.
when you work together, though.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, the
that's-
thing is, I'm open to it when I'm talking to my colleagues. Do you know, like, if
Yeah.
they need they're talking about raises, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I'll tell you
like
how much
we're
I make. So
negotiating, can you help me
exactly,
out,
like
Judy?
I'll
Yeah.
help someone out. But if someone's just asking for the sake of it, I feel like once they have that number, they can't get it out of their head, and then you're just seen as like that number. It's
okay.
weird.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
If you were not a dentist, what other occupation would you?
Ooh, I would be a cake decorator.
Really?
So
Oh,
random.
like on Is It Cake?
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
love
god,
that stuff. I
hate
love
those
that
things.
stuff.
I saw some guy cut apart a cat. It gave me fucking
Oh
like
my god!
nightmares.
Did it look real?
Yeah, it looked
that
real. It was like so quick. So like by the time I saw a cat, he's already cutting into it. I was like, oh my, it's just a fucking cake. God damn it.
All right, guys, this concludes our lightning round. I want to say thank you to our amazing and apparently very closed off guest, Judy.
Thank you for having me.
Let us know where we can
Coming
find
on.
you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram on dr.girlfriend. Don't forget the dot. And then I'm on YouTube at Dr. Girlfriend.
Thank you guys for making it this far. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know below what you guys want us to talk about next, because we're always listening.
And remember,
Live fast, eat ass.